As in past years, the focus has been on creating new beta cells that might be used for beta cell replacement therapy. Either new cells that could be generated in test tubes that could then be transplanted, or some kind of strategy that could lead to regeneration in the pancreas. So Dr. Melton's lab has been a leader in working with embryonic stem cells and has used the approach of high throughput screening. And this has been had some very nice successes in that a variety of small molecules have been identified, which will push the immature cells to various stages. Now there's actually another approach that is getting a lot of attention, particularly in the past year, and that is finding ways to make beta cells divide and replicate so that you could take the existing beta cells that you might obtain from a human pancreas, or even within a pancreas of a living person, that could then be stimulated to divide. And again, this uses the high throughput screening approach, which we are very fortunate to have thanks to the combined efforts of Dr. Melton and Lee Rubin.
We set up an assay with Doug's lab and with Justin Annis, a postdoc in his lab, in which we took rat islets that were provided by Gordon Weir, another member of the Harvard Stem Cell Institute, and treated those isolated adult islets with small molecules from our Harvard Stem Cell Institute compound collection, and actually found several different ones that can cause selective proliferation of beta cells and which can to some degree rescue a diabetic mouse. And those compounds are now being moved forward in collaboration with Evotec Pharmaceuticals, a biotech company.
The other thing that's happened that's important in the past year is we're expanding our focus from just making new beta cells to other aspects in which stem cell biology might be able to help diabetes.
The diabetes program as it exists now is almost entirely focused on type 1 or juvenile diabetes, which is an enormous problem. 1 in 200 people have it. But if you look at diabetes as a whole, the real bad guy on the block is adult onset diabetes, the diabetes that most of us are afraid of and are likely to get in our life now. So it looks like 20% of Americans have a chance of becoming diabetic in their life, and it could raise as much as 40% to 50% if our metabolic crisis continues. So I think moving the program to include that aspect of diabetes so that it encompasses a bigger area of metabolic disease would be great. And in fact, maybe even expanding it entirely to a metabolic disease program so that we're now looking at obesity, fatty liver disease, diabetes in general as a problem that confronts America would be fantastic, or the world, I should say.
This is what we need. We need the big science. We need to just keep pushing forward. And the progress is, I've already talked about the progress, and it's real, and it's going to continue.